In this video, we are going to talk about the forgotten racetam. The racetam that seems to be getting no love out there in the nootropics community, the mighty Pramiracetam. We'll talk about doses, we'll talk about experiences, we'll talk about my suggestions, and more coming up. Okay, first things first, because not only are we the most robust source of nootropics information on the web, but we are also a nootropics product company, and we apply the same type of granularity and specificity and care and concern about value to our products that we do our content. The most popular product that we have is the Cortex Nootropic Stack. We have our own stack. It's called Cortex. It's one of the most powerful stacks there is, pre-made stacks there is. That is the sentiment of our customers who have been taking it for just about a year and a half. We've got customers ordering multitudes of bottles every couple months. We've got customers that order a bottle and sort of use it sparingly in conjunction with other powdered nootropics that they have, which is really the best way to go about it, cycling between stacks. And basically everything else in between. Cortex combined uridine monophosphate, CDP, choline, artichoke extract, and Bacopa monnieri for an exceptionally powerful frontal lobe motivation, verbal fluency, speed of processing, nootropic experience. Grab a bottle of the Cortex stack at livecortex.com. I mean, guys, this is the verbal fluency stack. This is the mental energy stack. This is the motivation stack. This is the speed of processing stack. We were just very interested in making an everything stack. We did that with the Cortex stack. Also, we wrote a nootropics God guide, an instructional God guide. You know, folks are asking on Reddit and elsewhere, is there just a one digital guide that I can download right now on Kindle, iPad, iPhone, whatever my device is, and just read it and have endless amounts of powerful stacks and explain to me how to use nootropics, the best way to use nootropics, racetams and choline and all this stuff? We did it. We created it. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. Get it at livecortex.com. Download it now. Use the coupon code 5. Get it for $5 off. Okay, epic coffee break. Okay, let's talk about Pramiracetam. This is one of the other racetams that we don't really talk about much. It hasn't gotten much love in the nootropics community. It's not very popular, and I don't really know why. I think it's a very effective compound. We're going to talk about that, but I think it's just sort of like aniracetam, oxiracetam, paracetam, phenylparacetam. You know, these have gotten, coliracetam, I guess, to a lesser extent, have really gotten the most of the attention, right? People take them, they recognize how good these compounds affect their brains, and they talk almost exclusively about those. If you look at some of the nootropics companies too, Pramiracetam doesn't seem to be sort of top of mind or overtly noticeable on some of their websites, Nootropics Depot, Nootropics Source, Serotropic, etc. They might have them, but it just doesn't seem like it's to the front. And somehow people have sort of taken Pramiracetam and been like, well, it's just we like oxiracetam or aniracetam or phenylparacetam better, or somehow it's just more popular. I'm not really sure what the basis for that is, because Pramiracetam is actually exceptionally effective. So Pramiracetam has similar mechanisms to paracetam, where it works on cholinergic signaling and AMPA receptors. It's basically similar to the oxiracetam, aniracetam, and paracetam, but it is profoundly more powerful, something like 30 or so times more powerful than regular paracetam. For inducing mental fluidity, focus, working memory, verbal fluency, for some people euphoria. I mean, it's a pretty interesting compound, but here's the difference. The dose range is anywhere from 200 on the I mean, that's a pretty good dose for Pramiracetam, frankly, to about 1,000 milligrams on what I would say is probably the high end. Most people are going to find their sweet spot right in the middle, at 400 to 500 milligrams. My dose range, period dose on Pramiracetam is 300 milligrams. I don't take it with a choline source because I don't require choline sources this late in the game. I've been taking nootropics for a long time. I've likely just enhanced myelin sheath and cholinergic signaling and phosphatidylcholine and acetylcholine quantity in my brain. So I take much lower doses of the acetylcholine precursors these days if I ever take them, and I just don't require choline sources when it comes to racetams. So my dose is an even 300 milligrams, and then I'm off. The effects, let me just, before I talk about the effects, let me just explain Pramiracetam's effects in this way. I take, I don't take it very often. I mean, I have some Pramiracetam kind of sitting around, but the last time I took it and the next time I take it, it was for and would be for a pretty intense study session. You know, whether that's me trying to read through like a long PubMed article on like, you know, detox pathways of the liver or something, you know, modafinil or GABA in the intestinal tract, something that I know is going to be a 10-page long study that I really want to truly exit the study understanding everything that I just read. I want to be able to comprehend everything, hold it all in my working memory while I'm doing it, and I just want my brain to work better. That's a situation where, like, typically I might take a Noopept. These days it's PRL-8-53, so slightly better for working memory, as I explained in a previous video. But Pramiracetam is basically right up there with those two. And you know, it gives me a better all-around brain function effect, whereas Noopept and PRL, they're largely working memory. I mean, they're verbal fluency and focus and these sorts of things, but Pramiracetam seems to just make my entire brain work better, you know, and that's sort of the standout effect. So if you're going to go and really need to retain a bunch of information, or really need to focus on something, or really need to do a lot of mental work, you know, a lot of good solid mental work where you're going to need your faculties, not just speed of processing, but memory and functionality and faculties, Pramiracetam is a good racetam for that.
Hey guys, Ryan here. Thanks for watching. But if you want to take your brain game to the next level, you want to increase your focus, your verbal fluency, your mental energy, your ability to sit down and crank out work for hours at a time, secure a bottle of the Cortex Nootropics stack. Our customers are clear. This is the best pre-made stack on the planet. And hey, speaking of stacks, if you really want to take your nootropic stack game to the next level, secure the Smarter, Better, Faster book. This is a surgical guide to using nootropics for total mental dominance. You talk about stacks, we got stacks in there. Endless amounts of stacks, power stacks, verbal fluency stacks, working memory stacks. We've got modafinil strategies and everything else you can think of to include a whole sector on nootropics questions answered. Smarter, Better, Faster, the most powerful nootropics guide on the planet. livecortex.com. That's livecortex.com. We'll see you over there.